Hello, here's me again. I'm going to tell you now about ditransitive verbs, verbos ditransitivos. We study these kind of verbs in the passive voice because they can get a passive, an active voice sentence to have two passive voice correspondents, right? Okay, now the first thing we're going to see is an example, okay? Because some sentences have got two objects, that's why they are called ditransitives, ditransitivos. They have one direct object and one indirect object, okay? So this is an example. In the active voice, he gave the money to the shop assistant, right? There are two objects, direct object, the money, to the shop assistant, indirect object, okay? So as it happens in these kind of situations, in this kind of active voice, which has sorry, wait a little second, I need to check this out so that you can see my face. Okay, in this case where you can have two different objects, then we will have two possibilities for the passive, okay? Here you have the two possibilities. The shop assistant was given the money. This is the most common, because the shop assistant involves a person, yeah? The person doing the action, okay? The second one is the money was given to the shop assistant, which is less common but also correct in English, okay? Now let me show you a PDF with some more examples here. Let me show you the first one. Okay, here you can see the basic structure for the transformation from the active voice that you can get at the top to the passive voice that you can see below. Now here at the top you have some verbs that can have two objects. So these verbs, ask, tell, offer, give, send, show, teach, pay, and promise, they can have normally two objects. They are typically used with two objects, so these verbs could have two possible passive voices, okay? So the most common would be the one including the person in the subject. So this one could be the most common in English. Anne wasn't offered the job, which is the most strange in the Spanish language, because we would normally say el trabajo no le fue ofrecido a Ana rather than Ana no fue ofrecida al trabajo, which sounds a bit worse in Spanish, right? But this one is the best option in English, okay? The second one, the one which has and the person as the subject, okay? Here you have in the second page some examples in which we can see the transformation. They're going to give Johnny a present. They, of course, this is an active voice. When we do the transformation, we will see that we have two objects. One is Johnny and the other one is a present, okay? So here we can see that we will have two possible passive. Johnny will be the subject for one of them and a present will be the subject for the other one of them. Let me show you the transformation for this first one. Let me change my face somewhere here. Okay, so we got there. They are going to give Johnny a present. So here you have the two possible transformations. First one is Johnny is going to be given a present. Okay, this is the typical transformation. I'm going to give is going to be right. That's the first the first step for the transformation. The second step you can see in blue color, given. Remember, the original main verb give is turned into the participle, right? Okay, but out of these two examples, Johnny and a present can be the subject, but the most common, of course, would be the first one. Johnny is going to be given a present, okay? You can also, I also want to show you, there's one of these exercises I've got there ready for you in Moodle. Let me get it for you. I think it's this one. Okay, so you can practice with these exercises. They're quite simple exercises. I want you to use them because there will be a register of your work, and I will use this for your evaluation. I will see that you have been working on this when you do this exercise. It is in Moodle for you. Okay, here on the left you get the explanation, you get the presentation about ditransitive verb passive voice. Okay, you get the example here that we have seen before, similar ones, okay? And this is the list of possible verbs that might have this situation. In this kind of exercise, you get two options. You have to choose the two sentences in a passive voice which are correct. In this case, we have, they gave her a lot of presents. We have a lot of presents is one of the potential subjects for the passive, and her is the other possible subject. Of course, her, if we put her as a subject, we cannot write her. We have to write she, okay? right? So we can either choose B or D. She was given is good. She were give is not good. Okay, so we will choose the first one. And then this is the other possible subject, a lot of persons. So either A or C. And remember that when we have the direct object as the subject, we need to keep the preposition to here. This is important. So if we have to choose between A and C, we will have to choose A. Okay, now if we click on check, you get 4 out of 4 decisions here are correct, so we get it 100%. There are three exercises here. You can do 3 of them and practice a bit with this. Okay, remember that you got forums, you got your email that you can send me questions, and we will also program an online tutorial session to answer your questions, the questions that you might have about all these. So for the moment, thank you very much. Thank you for your attention, and I hope you understood most of it.